recording has started.
All right, we are recording and we are live on YouTube.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order, the Legislative Ethics Commission on November 13th, 2020. Will Danita call the roll, please?
Sheldon Ball, you are connected from your house,
Yes, up here.
okay?
Yes, and please tell us where you're coming from.
I'm from Russellville, Kentucky.
Pat Freiber, you're located at the commission office. Present. And Tony Gates, you're located at the commission office.
Here.
And then Phil Huddleston, you're located at your home. I think Phil is connected, but his mic may be off.
Yeah, can you take your mute off, Phil? Looks like you're muted.
Now then, can you hear me?
There we go. Phil Huddleston,
Okay.
Phil Huddleston, you're located at your home.
Yes, yep, here in Franklin, Kentucky.
Chairman Nicholas, you're located at your home.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Knopsker, you're located at your office.
Yes, in Somerset, Kentucky.
And Tanya Pullen, you're located at your home.
Yes, it's actually Tanya, but I'm at home, and thank you.
Tanya, sorry. Paula Sherlock.
Right, I'm here in Southern Shores, North Carolina.
Okay, and Tony Wilhoit, you're located in your home in Versailles? Yes. All right, we have a full commission.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we're duly constituted to do business. First thing I want to do is apologize for all the mistakes I'm about to make. This is a new activity for me to chair this, and I got really big shoes to fill, which I probably never will be able to do, but I'm going to do my best. So just bear with me. The first item on the agenda is approval of minutes from the August 12, 2020 meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any comments, additions, corrections that anybody has?
I'll move approval.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second, right?
Yes.
So look for me to hear everybody. If there are no comments or changes, without objection, the minutes stand approved. We'll move to the staff report, and Laura, you can go ahead and start your staff report.
Great. Glad to see all of you virtually again. So glad that everyone could join us today. As you know, we canceled the October meeting due to some conflicts, but I know that LRC is in the process of updating their meeting rooms, so there will be more rooms available for this type of virtual meeting. So that's good. There'll be more capacity, so hopefully we won't have to cancel for that type of reason. Just real quickly, as with our last meeting in August, I wanted to give you just a really quick update on just office activities. Of course, we're still closed for in-person service, but we are doing everything, all the business of the commission, just as if we were in the office every day in person. So we've been doing this for about 7 months now. Mostly working from home, as we've said before, but we go in, usually about one of us will go in about almost every day, but we're all working, even if we aren't in the office from home. But we go in as needed to perform whatever agency functions need to be done, filing deadlines, things like that. So as always, as we stressed in August, our two highest priorities are, of course, ensuring that we get the same excellent level of service for the Commonwealth, for legislators, lobbyists, the public, get them answers quickly and accurately, get filings in and things like that, and do the statutory business of the commission. And number two, of course, I think these are pretty much equal at this point, ensuring the safety of our employees and also the safety of people that have to interact with the commission. I just want to stress again over this 7-month experiment, just so how proud I am of staff. I mean, they have taken, they've met every expectation. There's not been a deadline missed or a problem arise that they haven't been able to creatively deal with, and they've worked so hard just to deliver these services in some very uncertain times, while adapting to new technology, suggesting new technology, and really working together. And I can't say enough good things about them. And also knowing that everyone, of course, like you all have families, we all have families and have personal things, issues crop up, not the least of which can be health issues. And at this time, it's great to see how well everybody works together. And I'm just over the moon about that. And I just wanted to express that to you all as the commission. Just some updates on things that we've been doing in terms of working virtually. Of course, we've got a virtual private networks, as we talked about before. Danita, with the help of LRC, got us a Zoom license so that now we can get together online anytime we need to have staff meetings, which we have been having, or just to check in if there's a particular issue that talking on the phone, for texting or emailing just doesn't get it. We've been getting together just so we can discuss things. Also, we're going to use that license for our legislator training. In terms of the filing deadlines, again, we've not had to move any deadlines, unlike other agencies where they've had to give additional time. Danita and Lori have worked so diligently to ensure that this, for example, the September 15th deadline that just came up for lobbyists and for employers, it was met and everyone filed. We didn't have to fine anybody. We did permit a short 2-week waiver as long as they sent me an excuse for why they were late. Of course, the excuse was usually COVID, but there were some health, some other health issues or things that might have come up with their offices. But the point of that is everyone filed by the end of September, which I think is pretty great. Just again, some other things. Emily has worked also just incredibly well to get all of the legislative candidates' disclosures out on the web, make sure they file those with us. Also, she's been invaluable in preparing for this upcoming training we're going to be doing with legislators, one-on-one training with legislators as well, and also legal and informal opinions. Again, words fail me, or they usually fail me, but she's just been incredible. Speaking of training, we now also not only have a video of lobbyist training on our website, so anybody can go to that. With the help of LRC, we've had an outline for years that we've kind of expanded a little bit, just the overview of the ethics code. But now LRC staff narrated that for us. So if you go on our website and you want an overview, you can just look at that and pull it up, and it also has a PowerPoint that goes along with it. So I feel like that's a little bit more helpful for people who call in and say, I want an overview. as required by the law, we're going to have training of new legislators on December 4th. And that's in conjunction with LRC. It's a 2-day training they do. And we'll be at the very last, hopefully not the least, but the very last thing that they hear from us. Also, of course, we have current issues training at the beginning of the session, and that's going to be on January 6th. The General Assembly took our recommendation to change that from 3 hours to 2. I think probably in light of COVID, it's probably a little bit fortuitous. It will be a lot easier to do 2 hours as opposed to 3 hours over 2 days. So both of those things are anticipated to be virtual. So I'll get you more information on that as it gets closer. That's just kind of a real quick overview. Are there any questions of me as in terms of staff or how things have gone, issues, problems, complaints?
I just would like to commend you all for all of this. I think this has been an incredibly difficult year, and you've just done a terrific job.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And again, these folks know their stuff and work the problem, as my husband always likes to say, working the problem rather than, figuring out how to get out of doing things. And it's just great. And anybody else? And I'm trying to kind of scoot quickly.
Do we need a motion to approve the staff report?
No, this is really for informational purposes there. Yes. Another thing I wanted to point out is Janita and Lori and Emily and I have worked on the annual report. This is also an informational item. You don't need to approve it per se, but it's for the past fiscal year. Please review it. If there's anything you see in there that's you think is incorrect or needs to be dealt with, just let Danita know. So, and it's good to look through. There's a nice table in there of how much lobbying has expanded over the lifetime of the code. It's very interesting to see, just for your information. Okay, so under tab 2 in your book, we've moving to the monthly budget. We've got updates for August and September in the book, and then Tom Hampton was able to send us the October update and later than when we sent the book out. So that we sent that to you in email, and hopefully you all got that. It looks to be in good standing. Of course, the General Assembly last session did a 1-year budget, so they're going to have to do, normally they do a two-year biennial budget, so they're going to have to come back and do another budget, which will include us. He from speaking with him, he doesn't anticipate any problems or issues on that. So, and we're in good shape. Are there any?
I have a very important question.
Yes, sir.
What in the world did we rent 55 cents?
A rental of 55 cents. Well,
Don't spend too much time on being somewhat
yeah,
facetious.
okay. I looked at that and I couldn't quite figure that out either. I'm trying to think. We can look at that and get back to you if that's okay.
No.
Okay.
55 cents, we've already burned more time than that.
Okay. Speaking of things that will actually, you'll see in the budget, I wanted to update you on the new phone system. At your all's August meeting, you approved updating the phone system, which dated back to 1995, basically at the beginning of the commission. And at the time, we anticipated spending up to about $10,000 to update the system, which again was antiquated and broken and did its job as a phone, but not much more, and sometimes had issues in just being a phone. So Danita, actually, we came back and she got a quote of $9,000, but fortunately, and as intrepid and cost conscious as Danita is, she spoke with LRC about, maybe doing this, and they told us that they were in the process of updating LRC's phones, their whole system, to voice over internet protocol, gobbledygook that, again, I don't understand the technology of it, but anyway, a good up-to-date state-of-the-art phone system. So as part of that, and with her discussions with John Curtis and some of the other great folks up there, Danita was able to arrange with them to add us on to this overall update, and also have us essentially, since we're so small, kind of be the first in line to do that. And also enter account the cost. Obviously, there's a cost. So all that is to say, instead of around $9,000 or $10,000, we were able to, thanks to Danita, pay only about $2,500 for a brand new Cisco phone system. And it's reflected in, if you look on the September budget, it says the commodity line is where that would be. So that's 25, 11. 25,080. I'm sorry, $2,585.11. Don't want to say $25,000. So again, kudos to Danita for working that out, and also to the LRC staff for quickly installing the phones and getting us really up and running and working these phones. So they installed them actually on October 14th. So we've had about a month to kind of learn, how they work. But some of the new things and why this is important, obviously we're working from home. We've been using our cell phones and computers and things like that. But they provided us 5 new phones, which are digital phones, and have all kinds of capabilities that, again, we're going to get trained on. A new conference room phone, which we'll be able to, when we are back in person, we'll be able to use that for any kind of meetings. Automatic forwarding to cell phones, which is a big deal, because that way any calls that come into the office, they will automatically go out to whichever phone it's forwarded to, which is great, which is not a function we could do with any of the old phones. And voicemail, it's a digital voicemail system. So if you leave a voicemail for me, for example, and Janita picks it up, she can email it, that voicemail, to anybody in our agency. And also an app for the cell phone, if we need that. And so that way, you're not picking up, the next ad, the next campaign ad, phone call, or, thing about your warranty on your car. You're making sure that, those come through. And obviously this allows us to be more accessible, and accessible at all times, and available. So wherever we are, we can do our work. They can also the phones, that we can take them home, and they also interface with our computers as well. So another thing that Janita worked on, she got us 2 direct lines as of now, so that we can be called directly. So instead of the phone going through the main number, it'll come directly to me and to Emily. So that also cuts down on her administrative time. I mean, just to forward a phone, that's not really necessary, I don't think, right now. And then Lori, I believe, is going to have another line. We have to get those assigned through COT. So, but finally, and I thought this is really cool, that, if you've been in the office, you have probably seen the gigantic fax, the ancient fax that we had, which weighed, I don't know, I tried to move it. It was about 200 pounds or so I couldn't move it. But using our existing fax number, they were also able, as a part of this upgrade, to give us the capability to receive fax through email, which is great. And so Danita will receive those, and then they can just be sent to whomever. So the old giant fax machine, we were able to surplus that, and since we're, we don't have a big office, so it took up about a third of the table back there that we use to collate things and send out books and all that. So instead of it being a great big thing, now we have a lot of space to work with back there, which is great. And so we can also fax directly from our emails. Scan, you can scan something over whatever and just send it to people. So we're in the 21st century, which is awesome. And again, I can't say enough good things about Danita, and also for Lori coming in and working with folks to come in and install things. Danita is also still working with COT on our desktop application and has a ticket. So now we're hopefully, gonna get that upgrade done, hopefully soon. So any questions on phones or?
Well, I think we can always count on Donita to remember whose money it is we're talking about, the taxpayers. And it's not surprising that she ended up with what we need for $2,500 instead of $10,000.
And right over Pat's shoulder actually is one of the new phones over Pat's right shoulder. So it's great. I mean, but you'll see that it's forwarded to all of our emails. I mean, I'm sorry, all of our cell phones. So again, we are getting phone calls just as if we were in the office. It's seamless, it's great. So again, in this time that, we really need to be, be careful about being in the office and such, it's awesome. So, all right, just a couple more really quick things. We were invited to speak to the Interim Joint Committee on State Government on September 22nd. Emily and Chairman Nicholas and I attended via, virtually over Blue Jeans to talk about the sexual harassment portions that didn't pass. And Ken Mosier, Representative Mosier, was asked to speak on that as well. And so we did and gave kind of an overview of what that would look like from the past bills that were filed. And then I did touch base with Representative Moser, and she said that yes, she is definitely interested in sponsoring that again. So we're gonna be talking hopefully in the next couple of weeks about that. Of course, they just had an election as well, so I knew that she was going to be busy up till that point. But so I feel like that's good. And they were fairly positive, I believe, in the State Government Committee meeting. So that I think is all I have in terms of a staff update for that issue. Let me see. Okay, the next thing behind, let's see. Yeah, the next thing behind the financial update portion of the book is a memo that was done as a report from the Committee on Staff Salaries that you all set up. So, Mr. Chair, do you or Mr. Gates, who was the chair of that, would you all wish to discuss that?
Yes. I'm going to recognize Tony for a report on staff salaries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's really pretty concise. What we've done is we're trying to get our salaries on a par with the other salaries through LRC that do as much work as our people do. And that's probably impossible to find, but we've looked at it and we're recommending a 5%. All these recommendations, we're also hoping that you will agree that we will just do salaries once a year and make them effective on January 1 of each year. So this recommendation will go into effect if you pass it, on January 1 of 21. Laura Hendricks, 5% raise, Emily Dennis, 5% raise, Danita Crittenden, 10% raise, Lori Smither, 10% raise. A couple of those are gonna need some more tweaking, but we didn't wanna go huge amount, at this point. So we'll give that some tweaking next year. We also took up the hourly wage of our fiscal officer. He's been getting $50 per hour, and we raised that to $60 per hour for recommending a raise. So, and as I say, we recommend these increases. We looked at it pretty carefully and in great detail. Compared each one with other salaries at the same level. So I'm going to separate motion on that. We want to go to but let's do a separate motion on that. I'll move that the Legislative Ethics Committee approve the 5 salaries that were just discussed, effective January 1 of 2021.
I'll second the motion to make the increases as recommended by the committee. I did have one question as far as the annual evaluations, if you will, if those were going to be based on anything in particular, if there were going to be evaluation forms, and then if there would be a rating system for increases going forward, or how that would work.
We actually did not discuss that specifically. However, what we're trying to do is get them up to a certain level, and this will do that, except for Danita and Lori. We'll have to come back next year and do some more, and we may have to do some more for the others. But that's a question now because of the virus, as to how much that is going to happen. But anyway, the answer, I think, the quick answer is no. We did not discuss an evaluation, and I think that's an excellent suggestion. We need to have some type of evaluation. One thing we do use are the comments that we get from legislators, lobbyists, and others about how well we're doing, and how hard our staff work to get things done, and also how hard they work to light a fire under those that need a fire lit under. So I'm sure Mike could answer the question totally. We can look at that in the coming year if you'd like.
One thing to add to what Tony's report is, while our people deserve these raises in terms of merit and their performance, they're actually upgrades in their salary classification, because they're behind where other comparable jobs are in the Commonwealth, in LRC and other agencies like the Executive Branch Ethics Commission. That's one of the things we looked at. So I don't want to say they're not for merit, because all of our people deserve merit increases, but these are actually to get our people up in the right area. So that because of that, we didn't consider job evaluations and performance evaluations. We're trying to get these our folks up into the right league or right level with their salary basis. And if we want to do an evaluation thing for meritorious performance in the future, that's fine. But it was basically to get our people up to where they need to be. Any more questions?
Any other questions?
Tony made a motion that the recommendation be approved. Recommendation of the committee. Is there a second?
I
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing to be none, all those who favor the motion signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and it is so ordered. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I think we also probably need a motion that we're only gonna do these salaries once per year, and we're gonna do them all at the same time. And if we have new hires in there somewhere, or what have you, we will adjust accordingly. But it makes it a lot easier to evaluate if we have them all effective. It's actually in the middle of the fiscal year, but, it's on a calendar year.
We need to make that motion. We would just do it as a process.
I'm sorry.
Laura,
I'm sorry.
do we need to do that as a motion from the commission, or do we need to just have that as a policy or procedure that we follow?
You can do it as a motion from the commission. That's fine.
Okay,
And then that would become the policy. Yeah, that would be good.
okay. Then Tony has made a motion to have a commission policy review salaries every year, and hopefully do that at the point where we can have those go into effect on January 1 of each year. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, I've got both seconds. Any questions or comments, discussion? Hearing to be none, all those who favor the motion signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and it is so ordered. Laura, do we need to approve our financial statement?
No, I don't believe so. I think that's just for informational purposes.
I think technically, what we used to do is we accept we don't approve them, but we accept.
Oh, okay.
Reports.
Sorry.
I move that we accept the financial reports as placed in the minutes, in our workbooks.
Okay, there's a motion that we accept the financial statements as submitted. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing to be none, all those who favor the motion signify by saying aye.
All right.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and it is so ordered. Laura, if you want to continue with informal opinions, I want to remind everyone that if you have questions about all the informal opinions that we have in our book, we need to hold those until we go into executive session, because that will involve names of people and situations need to be done off the record. Go ahead, Laura.
Okay. Yeah, the next item under staff reports are these informal opinions that we've been working on since August. And hopefully you've had a chance to read through those. As you can see, we've obviously, with this being a big election year, we've had various questions about campaigns, mailings, travel, some travel, not a lot, obviously, since the pandemic, contributions and things like that. Also, there's a memo, a really well-written, of course, memo from Emily on electronic reporting and reflecting that now 95% of our lobbyists and employers do their required reporting, their six time a year reporting electronically, which I think is great. And very, very responsive, and then it's available for the public to see at any point. So that's, unless anybody has any questions about informal opinions.
might mention, just to help our newer members, this is one of the most important things, in my view, that the commission does. We have encouraged legislators to ask first they act, because it's a lot easier to steer them away from a bad activity than it is to get it fixed when they do something wrong.
Right.
And it's a very, very important function that we have. Our staff does it extremely well. And, but, we need to look at those, make sure we are okay with those as they come in every month. But basically, this is what keeps us from having a hearing every 5 minutes and having people breaking the ethics law on a regular basis. We're trying desperately to steer them away and keep them on safe ground. And our staff does a tremendous job of that. And it's probably, like I say, I think maybe the most important function we have, at least in terms of how we spend our time. So we need to move on to, I need a motion.
Dave, can I have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
A question.
Yes, ma'am.
I was really concerned about this issue of, I guess it's Representative Huff who wore the 15-inch face mask, and I just wanted.
Can we go into executive session if you want to have specific?
I just wanted to know if that was kind of an isolated incident, or if this was something that was a little rampant during the election season. I thought you handled it very well.
Let's hold on to that just a second, and
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm going to ask for a motion pursuant to the open records law, appropriate sections of the open records law, for the commission to go into closed session to discuss preliminary inquiries and any questions we have about staff opinions.
I'll make the motion to go into executive session.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Bye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and it's so ordered. We are now in executive session.
We need to give Mark just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Mr. Nicholas?
Just give me
He
one
has-
moment. We should be live again.
Okay,
Give me
Back
one
on the
moment to
record.
confirm that.
okay. Did he confirm that, or is he going to confirm that?
I'm still waiting. There's a delay.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
okay, yes, we are live on YouTube.
okay. Now that we're back in session on the record, let the record reflect that all discussions during closed session were limited to preliminary inquiries or informal opinions, and no final agency action was taken during the closed session. So the next order of business is any other business. Do we have any? Anyone have any items, other business or new business?
I think Paula does. I mean,
Paula?
Judge Sherlock.
Right. And it's really, for me, it's not business, but it's something that I need to address. I contacted Speaker Osborne a couple of weeks ago and talked to Laura. I moved, as most of you know, we have this home in North Carolina, and because of the pandemic, we kind of relocated here. I'm now in the process of transitioning to become a North Carolina resident, and as such, I think it would not be fitting. I can't stay on the board, obviously. I've told Speaker Osborne I'm going to write a letter. I told him I wanted to let everybody on the commission know. Then after that, I anticipate writing Laura and Speaker Osborne. I've told him that I'll serve at his discretion. I've kind of got my feet in both states right now. I still have a residence in Kentucky, but I would not want to try to remain on the commission and ever put any decision that the commission made. You know, I would not want to provide any avenue for attack or any reason for someone to object to anything I had voted on. I anticipate being in the December meeting because I think it'll take him a little while to find somebody I'd like to appoint, but I would anticipate. So I just wanted to let you know first before I did anything official. To serve on this committee, I've met people that I never would have met before, and I'm just so impressed by the ethical stance that the commission has taken, and I've been very proud to be here, and I really hate that I'm not going to finish my term, but again, I don't want to do anything that might call into question any decision that the commission made while I was a member.
Judge, we really appreciate having you, and we will take you as long as we can get you or have you. And you bring a lot of insight to us, and we appreciate that. We're going to really miss you. If you have to go, 80 degrees and near the beach is a suitable alternative to the beauty of Kentucky. And so I would personally approve of that. But we're going to miss you, and you've been a very valuable resource to us, and we wish you all the best. And did you say you think you're going to be available for the December meeting?
Yes, I think so. I told Speaker Osborne that I would serve through to the end of the year unless he found someone to replace me sooner than that. So, but he asked me if I would stay to the end of the year, and I'm happy to do that.
Tell him that we need him to replace you with somebody as knowledgeable and talented as you are.
I will.
You'll find that hard to do, I'm sure. Anything else to come before the commission? We're going to get out of here before 10:30. No other further business? Is there a motion that we adjourn?
So
Got a motion? Is there a second?
And
Without objection, we are now adjourned.
Okay, the next meeting is going to be December 9th, which is a Wednesday, from 9 to 10:30. Just please put that on your calendars.
Okay,
Appreciate it. Thank you all so much.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Great.
What?